Breaking this half hour, floods, wind, heavy rain after Hurricane Ian made landfall over Florida's west coast a short time ago. Here's a live look at the Tampa Bay area. Certainly not a beach day, and tough to make out this image too.
Yeah, not at all. Meteorologist Caitlin McGrath is tracking Ian's destruction and where it's headed next. She'll have an update for us in 2 minutes. But first, we're going to get an update on the conditions on the ground. And for that, we go to Jason Allen, who is live in Tampa. And we're looking at you now, Jason. Tell us what you're seeing and experiencing as Ian is moving through.
So the landfall that you just referenced, that was 100 miles to the south of where we are. And yet even still, and you can see it here, downtown Tampa is getting wind gusts of more than 60 miles an hour. I think 66 was the last time that I checked. You're starting to hear it now in around the buildings. And the impacts of this storm, it's just huge right now. It stretches all the way from the northern border of the state all the way down to the Florida Keys.
Hurricane Ian has arrived on U.S. shores. A powerful, lumbering storm that's expected to batter millions in Florida. Oh! Hurricane hunters flying directly into Ian felt the storm's power, and satellite imagery shows lightning in the eye wall as Ian approached. Officials are warning of dangerous flooding and life-threatening storm surge.
Some places going to get 2 feet of rain. It's moving that slow.
Flooding began on these streets in Naples while Ian was still offshore, and downed power lines sparked this fire. Residents in the highest risk areas were warned. If they hadn't gotten out by this morning, it was too late.
I urge Floridians who have made the decision to shelter in place, to stay indoors, and stay off the roads.
But the curious came out to Tampa Bay earlier as water receded from the shoreline. It's been pushing water out of the bay. This is a swimming area usually, and right now you can walk on it.
It's like a one-in-a-lifetime thing.
These Michigan residents have never experienced a hurricane.
We see if we can get a good glimpse of anything while we're here.
But there is serious business ahead as Ian bears down. FEMA has hundreds of boots on the ground and has pre-positioned food and water supplies. Florida's governor is already forecasting a long recovery.
This is not just a 48-hour ordeal. This is going to be something that is going to be there for days and weeks and months.
Ian is expected to move across central Florida and exit Daytona Beach sometime tomorrow.
And when we talked to people over the last day or two who were staying here through this storm, they were prepared to be without power for maybe as much as a week. At last check, more than 1 million customers without power, still on here in the downtown area of Tampa, at least for now.
So we've seen video of rising waters, really dangerous conditions. Can you tell us what you're hearing from the rescue crews there?
The rescue crews at this point, a lot of them, they're still staging, and that's because the storm is just still spinning here. The wind gust is still too dangerous in a lot of cases for them to move in, so they're really going to need to wait until the storm and these heavy, strong winds move out of the area. That's when it'll be safe for them to get some of their equipment in, start unloading the boats, and get into some of those areas where people at this point undoubtedly need some help.
Yeah, and Jason, we know this may be tough to fathom right now because you are in the midst of this storm, and we heard Governor DeSantis there saying Hurricane Ian, the effects of it are going to be felt for quite some time. So do we know what happens after this hurricane passes by, how you might help how some of these people might be assisted with the recovery?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say there are a lot of state resources here. There are federal resources that have been staged around the Southeast, and a lot of other organizations around the Southeast that do this, that respond to these storms when people need help, and they are already here. We've seen them from several states. I would expect that you will see organizations like the Red Cross look for donations. You will see major organizations that will probably want to step up. I imagine that some of those things are happening now to get organized, because this is an unprecedented storm, really, for some of these areas, especially where that core came across down in the Fort Myers area earlier today.
Boy, this storm is a study in contrast. You've got Jason there sort of weathering the storm. You have a guy walking a dog behind him, almost as if there's nothing going on. Please be safe, for sure.
The dog's barking in the background, too. All right, Jason, thank you.